A very good morning to all my dear students. Welcome to the science session. This is your revision session. I hope that you remember. We are doing the revision of chapter cell. Now friends, we have already discussed that cell is like a house. A cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. And if we talk about cytology and cell biology, then study of the structure and composition of the cell is called as cytology, while the study of the structure as well as functions, when you are including the functions, then it is called as cell biology. Then the discovery, that is, it was Robert Hooke who observed the Koch cells, and he has mentioned about it in his book that is called as Micrographia. Then the cell theory, that is Skyven and Skeldon, they said that all living things are made up of cells. Rocco stated that all cells come from pre-existing cells, and the term protoplasm was given by Purkinje. This is about the cell theory, and these are the principles of cell theory. That is, all living things are made up of cell. Smallest functional unit of the living organism is called as cell, and all cells arise from pre-existing cells. While this principle is discarded in this case of spontaneous generation. Various shapes are there depending on the functions of the cell. Cell size, which you have to memorize: human liver 20 micrometer, RBC 7 micrometer, acetobacter 10 centimeter. The largest cell, that is the ostrich egg, which is of about 50 centimeter. Longest cell, that is the nerve cell, that is about 1 meter. Smallest known cells so far, that is PPLO 0.1 diameter, human egg 0.1 millimeter in diameter. Then the characteristics, so we have studied. Coming to the types of cell, that is prokaryotic and eukaryotic. I am doing this revision just because of you people. Okay, come to the prokaryotes. Prokaryotes are those in which there is, you can say, no nucleus, membrane organelles are absent, and moreover it is the first type of primitive type of thing that is found. And if best example of this, it is bacteria and acetobacter. Coming to eukaryotic, in eukaryotic we are having well defined nucleus, then membrane bound organelles are present, and prokaryotic is devoid of nucleus, so it is called as nucleoid, the place where the concentration of all the like nucleoids are tangled, DNA is tangled in between. Then next part, that is the organism types on the basis of number of. If we see the organism types on the basis of number of cells, then it is of two types. Which it is? It is unicellular and multicellular. Uni means one, single cell. Multi means it is having many cells. Then we did about the cell wall. First, cell membrane, that is the plasma membrane. As you already know that it is the containing a double layer of phospholipids, okay, that is 75% of it, and the rest is protein. You can see the proteins are embedded. If the protein is embedded inside, it is called as intrinsic. If it is present on the outer layer, then it is called as extrinsic protein. And this model is called as fluid mosaic model. And the characteristics of it are the characteristics, that is the functions we will study, but before that याद रखो ये वाली चीजें H2O, NH3, CO2, O2, आवड़ जावड़, hydrocarbon only आवड़, glucose and ions no आवड़ जावड़. What will they do to get inside? They will use the active transport. Then important part, which is function. It will give shape to the cell. It is a selective permeable membrane. It will help in the tissue formation. Then it is forming the junction with the neighboring cell, which is called as plasmodesmata, and it compartmentalizes the cell content. That means it will separate this cell and the another cell that is present just beside it. Then very important part, which is the molecule movement, which we discussed in our last lecture. The very first thing is it will maintain homeostasis. See, again and again the things are done so that you remember. More the revision, more you will be able to learn. So only I am repeating it again and again. Homeostasis, and this is the only way even I am making the students learn in the class. Or you will revise the thing, like for example when you were very small, maybe you can say in the nursery. Then in nursery you were singing that rhyme, twinkle twinkle little star, how I wonder what you are. The whole rhyme you remember even till day. Johnny Johnny yes papa. Some of the very basic poems you still remember. What's the reason? It was recited for a longer duration of time. In the same way, biology is some of the such a thing where more the more you will go through the same content, more it will stay in your, more amount of time it will stay in your brain. Coming to homeostasis. Homeostasis means internal conditions will remain stable irrespective of the outer conditions. In that you are having of three types, that is active transport, passive transport and bulk transport. Active transport energy is required, especially ions, and that when they are moving. Passive transport is of two types, diffusion and osmosis. Bulk transport means in more proportion, large proportion, either things are inside or outside the cell. We are not going to do diffusion, we will directly move to osmosis. The two basic, third one isotonic is here the middle one, it's easy for you. Hypotonic and hypertonic, यही एक चीज़ है जो आपको अपने ब्रेन में सेट करके रखनी है. You have to memorize it. In hypotonic what will happen, the cell will get swell up because outside solvent will flow inside the cell and the cell will get swell up, it will get bulge up. Hypertonic, here solvent is inside, so it will go outside, so in that case it will shrink. This is very important thing, that is concentration is in terms of solute and osmosis is in terms of solvent. Okay, keep this pic in your brain, just this pic in your brain. Active transport, you already know active transport, that is it is requiring energy. For example, this potassium, they will go inside and outside with the help of just some kind of external energy. Okay, then next endocytosis. When large material are moved inside or outside the cell, then it is called as endocytosis. This is the process of endocytosis, how it is happening. It will first fuse with the plasma membrane, then from plasma membrane it will come inside the cell in the form of the vesicle. If it wants to go out, then the same way it is happening. That cytosis, either food is going or water is going. If it's phagocytosis, then cell is eating something. If it's pinocytosis, then cell is drinking something. So this is how it is differing. And this is how it happens. The secretory vesicle first the plasma membrane, then it will open up and all the waste material is expelled out of the cell. Then comes cell wall. If we talk about, it is present in all the kingdoms except the kingdom Animalia. If we talk about plants, then in the plants it is made up of cellulose, while in fungi it is made up of chitin. Don't spell it as chitin, it's chitin. Then comes the important points regarding the cell wall. Cell wall is the outermost of the plant cell. It is absent in animal cells. How it is? It is rigid, semi-transparent. Then it is forming the layers with two cells when they are joined together. Then between there is a layer that is called as middle lamella, which is made up of calcium pectin and magnesium pectate. Some plants are having one more inner cell wall, that is called as dead cell wall, which is made up of cutin, lignin and suberin. Next, the functions of cell wall. The cell wall will provide definite shape to the cell, provide strength to the cell. It will allow entry and exit of some particular molecules only. Then it will not burst due to excessive pressure, and that means it will provide the turgor pressure during the movement of the particles. This also we have done. Cytoplasm, it is made up of three types of fibers, that is microfilament, microtubules and intermediate filaments. The basic functions of this is to provide the mechanical support, to anchor the organelles and to help the substance to move. Then comes the very important part of today, which is nucleus. From today's part, we have to move further. Nucleus. It is the control center of the cell. It is double membrane. That means it is having two membranes. What does it contain? It contains this things, that is nuclear envelope, nucleoplasm, chromosome and nucleolus. Nuclear envelope, nucleoplasm, chromosomes and nucleolus. So these four things we have to talk about. First one is nuclear envelope. Envelope means what? Outer layer. So it will separate the nucleus from the rest part of the cell. Double membrane it is. It is having two membranes and it is having pores inside it. Like any other kana hoy. And what it is connected to? Endoplasmic reticulum. Nucleolus. Generally most of the cell are, nucleolus is RNA containing material which is present inside the nucleus. This is the nucleus and this is its membrane, and inside it is one nucleus which is forming ribosomes, and it does not have membrane. It is synthesizing RNA, that is ribonucleic acid. Full form you have to remember. Then important part, it is material. Chromosomes, if we talk about, before the formation of chromosome, everything is in form of chromatin material, that is the thread like structure, and these are called as chromatids. And when they are combining during the cell division or anything else, then what will happen, it will combine and will form chromosome. So that is the called as, that is how it is further explained. And each part of the chromosome, it is called as arm. Okay. Then DNA. It is the hereditary material. It segments from the genes, and there are like chromosomes of two type. That means half or full. If only half of it is present, then it is haploid. Diploid means it's both arms are present, upper as well as lower, and this is how it looks like. Okay, this is about the nucleus. Very important short note from here. Note it quick. Be quick and note. Nuclear envelope. Nucleolus. chromatin material, DNA, which is the hereditary material. So I hope you have noted the content. Now let us draw the diagram of it, because its diagram is very much important for you people to learn. Almost like this, not at all totally spherical, you have to make. Having some nuclear pores. Okay. It is a double layered membrane in which these are nuclear pores, while the other one is the layer of the nucleus. Now here, the chromatin material is present like in the form of thread-like structures. while there is a nucleolus present, which is main place of the formation of the ribosomes. If we talk about the formation of ribosomes, then you already know that ribosomes are the ribosomes are so you already know that ribosomes are those material like the protein synthesis material. Moving on our next part, there is one layer of mRNA. Okay. Now let us just label the diagram. This is the double layered nuclear membrane. These are the pores which are present. Okay. This space is called as perinuclear space. This is the chromatin material which gets converted into chromosomes during cell division. This is nucleolus that is generally responsible for the formation of ribosomes. This is one mRNA, that is messenger ribonucleic acid. It is a form of ribonucleic acid. Ribonucleic acid is like of types. So in that here RNA stands for ribonucleic acid. This space is called as nucleoplasm. You have already studied just now only. Okay. So I think now nothing is left out for the labeling also. Note down this diagram and then we are going to move further on a further topic. Please quickly note down this because with some of the diagrams are very essential in the biology. You can write the whole short note with the help of just one diagram. Please quickly note it down, then we'll move further. So this is about the diagram and you have to note down the diagram just now. Friends, it is very important to remember the full form of RNA, which is ribonucleic acid, and if RNA then it is messenger ribonucleic acid. Okay, note down the diagram and then we'll move further on the further topics. I hope you remember this is the topic which we are doing, the nucleus, and this is the diagram. Okay, quickly note it down. Now let's move further. I hope you have noted down the diagram. The next particular part is the endoplasmic reticulum. As we already discussed, that it is the way of the passage where the things can move. With the help of endoplasmic reticulum, it is moving. It is what you can compare it with a hallway. That is a passageway through the proteins will go inside and outside the cell. So it is the passage as we are moving around the home in the same way, like a home's passage. It is the way for the passage of all the proteins. Here it is. If we talk about the types of it, then it is of two types, which is rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic, it is rough because it is having all the ribosomes attached to it, and it can modify proteins into ribosomes. Not all the ribosomes are attached to the rough endoplasmic reticulum. So these are important points about the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, please note it down. Very quickly note it down. Please note it down. Then it's smooth endoplasmic reticulum. If we talk about the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, it is smooth because it is not having the ribosomes attached to it. It is having the enzymes that will build up the molecules. Okay, so very important point about the smooth endoplasmic. It is smooth. Why? No ribosomes are attached to its surface. And here it is. If you look at the diagram over here, you can see the smooth endoplasmic reticulum over here and rough over here. So near the nucleus, whatever will be the production by the nucleolus, will from that all the small ribosomes, they will come out through the pores, and where they will get attached over here, and this is how its structure is. So these are about the key points of smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Please note it down, very small, and then we'll move further on the functions of endoplasmic reticulum. Quickly note it down. Then comes the very important part, that is the functions of the endoplasmic reticulum. If we talk about the functions of it, then it is, as we discussed, it is a passage that will allow the proteins to move. So similarly it will happen over here. Any which can move within the cell, for them it is serving as like we are only when we were discussing the basic structure of cytoskeleton. At that time we saw that how all the organelles are first fixed at that place, but them this the only organelle which can move within the cell to serve as a channel of transport of the materials between the various regions of cytoplasm and nucleus, so that it can provide the ribosomes. So proteins and lipids which are formed by RER and SCR, here it is the respective way. So RER is helping in the formation of protein, and for the formation of lipids it's SCR. They will help in forming the plasma membrane, and this process as membrane biogenesis. Once again, protein is formed by RER, lipids are formed by SCR, and both of these things are helping in the formation of plasma membrane. That process is called as membrane biogenesis. Very important definition. It will also help in synthesizing fats, steroids and cholesterol. Also acts as a cell skeleton. Coming to the important point about SCR. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum, it plays a very important role in detoxification. D means removal of oxidation of any of the drug, so that any of the the effect by that particular substance can be eliminated. So these are the functions of the endoplasmic reticulum. Once again, only which can move within the cell, so that it can serve as a channel for the transport of the materials. Next, the protein and lipid that is formed by RER and SCR, it is helping in the formation of plasma membrane, which is called as membrane biogenesis. What else it is helping in the formation of? It is helping in the formation of fats, steroids and cholesterol. Acts cell skeleton. SCR plays a crucial role in the detoxification of drugs and the poisonous byproducts that are produced. Okay, very important functions. Kindly note down. I hope you have noted down the functions. Let's move further on the kitchen of the cell. Like we are having the place where we make our food in the same way. Cell is also having where it is making its food. That is the ribosome, which is the protein factory. Yes, ribosome is like a kitchen where the food is where we are for when we are making the food. What we are doing, we are cooking it and we are consuming it and we are gaining energy. Same way, ribosome is where the proteins are changed. That its translocation takes place. Ribosomes, they are made up of proteins and rRNA. Okay, पहले हमने पढ़ा था mRNA, that is messenger RNA. Here you are having other rRNA. These are the protein factories of the cell. What will they do? They will join all these amino acids and they will make the proteins like this. And in this way, it is forming the whole of the protein. So this is the way it is formed of 26 amino acids, and this way production is carried out. So very important part regarding the ribosome. Please note it down quickly. Important point over here is again the full form of rRNA, which is ribosomal RNA, which is ribonucleic acid. This was left out. So note down also the form of the ribosome and quickly do it. So friends, recall what topic we have done today. Today we have done the short note of nucleus from here. This is we started with. After completing nucleus, we did endoplasmic reticulum. Try to recall, we have also done the diagram of it. Here it is. We have also done it with along with me. Then what else we have done today? With endoplasmic reticulum, we have also done the ribosomes today. Okay, this one. So after ribosomes, this much part. Whichever part we are having after ribosome, the further Golgi apparatus and all, will study in our further lecture. That's all for today's content. Thank you so much, my dear students, for listening to me, and have a very good day. That's all. Bye-bye.